I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
This is Alter Ego Comics TV for the week of November 2nd, 2011. Apologize for missing last week, but I had a slight case of pneumonia, which I'm still trying to get over here. So we really wanted to do an episode, but I didn't want to do one that badly. Anyway, to recap from last week, my pick of the week was Wolverine and the X-Men #1 by Jason Aaron and Chris Pacello. It is awesome, in one word. It's great if you're an X-Men fan. It's great if you're not an X-Men fan. It's nice to see growth and development in these characters, which, when you've been reading comics for as long as many of us have, characters can become stale, but we're seeing a lot of growth with the team that follows Wolverine. It was funny, it was exciting, it was respectful of the past, and it's one of the best first issues that Marvel has done in a long, long time. The X-books across the board are very strong now, and this is just a great place to start if you're looking to get into the X-Men books. So I cannot recommend Wolverine and the X-Men highly enough. You should absolutely buy it.
Also from last week, my pick was the Flashpoint hardcover. Flashpoint, you've all heard of. It was a great DC miniseries, kind of an Elseworlds feel earlier this year. It set up the transition into the New 52, and now you can own it for the low, low price of $22.99, and it has this awesome hardcover underneath the dust jacket. It is awesome. That is all.
All right, we're into the third month of the New 52. They are still on schedule. They are still good. And Action Comics #3, Grant Morrison, Rags Morales, with a special art assist by Gene Ha. It is very, very good. Many people have said, myself included, that Grant Morrison has made me care about Superman again. It's the best Superman book in a long, long time. And part of it may be that a lot of it is new, that we're seeing characters developed in different ways. In this issue, we get our first glimpse of Krypton and some of that backstory. It's just really, really good. So congratulations, Mr. Morrison, for not screwing this up and being all weird like you are sometimes. But Action Comics #3 continues the great streak of Action Comics.
On the Marvel side, we've got Villains for Hire 0.1. That's right, 0.1. This is a miniseries that's picking up out of the end of Heroes for Hire, and it's actually very good. It's still written by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning. It does a nice job of transitioning from where the story was, and it also is easy to read and pick up. They give you everything you need to know for a new reader. It's a lot of fun, and we're seeing, obviously based on the title, a competing group of villains using the same model that Misty Knight's been using, and it is very fun. And spoiler alert, Lady Stiltman.
That should be reason enough to pick it up. Moon Knight #7, Brian Michael Bendis, Alex Maleev. None of you are reading this. I don't know why I continue to talk about it, but it is so darn good. Really, pick up the trade, the hardcover when it comes out. This is issue #7. I think we might have all the previous issues in stock, but it's very disappointing that this is not selling because it is so good. That's all I have to say about it. Poor Moon Knight.
Supernatural #2. This is the second issue by Brian Wood in the ongoing series, and it did something that I really liked. It's a 2-issue story arc. 1, 2, done. So it's very simple. I'm so tired of having to wait a 6-issue arc for a story that should have been done in 3, and so great deal of respect to Mr. Wood for cutting it to the length that should have been for the story. It's still good, has a great feel based on the show, and if you're a fan, you should check it out.
Batwing #3. I think if you go back and watch episodes of the last 3 months, you'll see a little bit of a pattern, at least with me. I've enjoyed Action Comics from the beginning, I've enjoyed Batwing from the beginning, and the next one we're going to get to from the beginning as well. But this is just, Judd Winnick has made us care about this character that was brand new, that no one knows anything about, and I love it when that happens. It's nice to see new characters get introduced, whether it's DC, Marvel, or the independent publishers that people can latch onto, that are handled well. The artwork by Ben Oliver is just outstanding. It's just been a really solid 3-issue storyline so far, and this is a book that I expected not to like, and I did a complete 180, and it's very, very good.
Fear Itself is over. Except it's not.
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 My suit is black.
Not. We have Fear Itself 7.1. This is written by Ed Brubaker. This particular issue is subtitled Captain America. If you are a fan of Captain America, be it Steve or Bucky, you should read this book because important things happen. That is all.
We're not a spoiler-filled show, but you might want to pick this one up. Detective Comics number 3, again, Tony Daniel continues to perform admirably in the writing and artwork department. Continues the storyline of the Doll Maker, which is an interesting new villain. Just really, really solid. All the bad books from the relaunch of the New 52 have been excellent. And this was another one. A lot of people weren't expecting to like it based on Daniel's past work, but he's really taken his game up a notch. And again, Detective and Action are two of the strongest sellers, at least locally here, and I think nationally as well, of the New 52. And there's a reason for that. It's because they're really good.
Next up, we have Uncanny X-Men number 1. This is part of the Regenesis coming out of Schism. Uncanny follows Cyclops' team in Utopia, and it's a lot of fun seeing how everything gets structured because he sort of wound up with a lot of the powerhouses and the more head-butting, strong-willed characters, so it's neat to see how he keeps them all in line. It's written by Kieran Gillen, who was doing Generation Hope and Journey into Mystery.
Well, he was doing Uncanny before the...
Okay, well, there you have it. So he's been doing great work on the team, and it's a lot of fun.
My pick of the week, Amazing Spider-Man 673. This is the Spider Island epilogue. Spider Island was just so much fun. It was such a good event. We had multiple Marvel events going on at the same time. We had Fear Itself, we had Schism over in the X-Books, and Spider Island in Spider-Man. And Spider Island was the best of the bunch, in my opinion. It was just so solid. And it was an event done right. You had lots of guest appearances by other players in the Marvel Universe. You had a big bad villain. You had excitement. You had really solid artwork. Dan Slott has pulled off really something impressive with his Spider Island storyline. And the epilogue wraps things up nicely, and stuff happens in this. If you've been following Spider-Man, there's some stuff that goes down in here that you're definitely going to want to check out. And apparently it's setting some stuff up. It looks like the bad days for Peter Parker are not over, and something is looming on the horizon, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Slott does next. He has done virtually no wrong since taking over as the sole writer of this book almost 30 issues ago. So, pick of the week, Spider-Man 673.
My pick of the week is Batman Noel. This is an original graphic novel with words and art by Lee Bermejo.
God bless you.
Bermejo. Who you may remember from doing the awesome Brian Azzarello scripted Joker hardcover a couple years ago that was a very popular book. Noel basically adapts the story of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol to Gotham City. It's actually a very straight adaptation, and this is the first thing that Bermejo's written, and he actually does a really nice job. It's structured well, and you kind of have someone telling the story, mostly paraphrasing the story, of A Christmas Carol to a child who's all off panel throughout, but we're seeing Batman's life as he goes through and fights his villains. You've got Catwoman, you've got Superman, you've got the Joker, and it's great. It's poignant, but it's not too schmaltzy, and it's a wonderful retelling of a story we already knew.
This is the book to buy for a Batman fan for the holidays. It's a Christmas-themed book. The holidays are right around the corner. It's an original graphic novel, and I think this is going to be one of the breakout hits of the holiday season.
It's purdy.
Yeah, and the artwork's outstanding, like he said, purdy. We did get a question from one of our local guys here. Gary wanted to know, and he came in the store and asked me last week when we didn't record an episode, what 3 books, what 3 current ongoing titles would we want with us if we could only have 3 books for the rest of our lives, whether it's on a desert island or we're in prison or something along those lines. So 3 ongoing, current ongoings, regardless of creative team changes or any of that stuff. I'm going to go with The Goon by Eric Powell because no one else will take care of The Goon except Eric Powell, so there's some consistency there. American Vampire, because I really don't see anybody except Scott Snyder handling American Vampire, and it's just so good. And Ultimate Comics Spider-Man by Brian Michael Bendis and Sarah Pichelli. Hopefully those two stay on it for the long haul. And again, I really don't see Bendis giving up Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, Miles Morales. It's the character that he created. He had a lot of personal reasons for creating that character. So those are the 3 for me.
My 3 would be X Factor by Peter David. Again, I don't see anyone writing X Factor in the near future except Peter David, so we get the consistency going there. Invincible Iron Man by Matt Fraction, because it's been awesome from day one. And Batman, which is a little more controversial because it's entirely possible the creative team will change, but the direction they're going under Snyder is awesome, and it's Batman.
So there you go. If you have any other questions, post them in the comments below. We're running out of time, so I just want to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.